Hey there everyone, this is the Collective Soul Tarot and my name is Kay. Welcome back if you're returning viewers and subscribers, and welcome to new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing. It's wonderful to have you here, and any new viewers too, welcome. We're going to be doing a general reading for the collective, and I'm going to let Spirit decide the topic and direction as usual. After this collective reading, I'm going to be doing an alphabet reading. So I'll be pulling another tile for a letter, like a Scrabble letter. And that will be the alphabet, or that will be the letter that we will be doing the reading for. And that letter would be for the first letter of your first name, nickname, middle name, or last name. Whatever you identify mostly with your peers and family or whatever, that's the letter you should, if this letter shows up with that, then that'll be your reading for today. Otherwise, throughout the month, I'll be doing one every day. There's 26 of them, so you can imagine I'll be doing them every day. But it's just a way to help you who watch the collective reading to kind of narrow down more specific information for yourself that applies to your life and your current situation, whether it's in love or whatever it is it's that you come to tarot about. Also, there's the zodiacs that I do, that also helps narrow it down, but zodiacs only helps narrow it down one of 12 and of the population, right? And with the alphabets being 26 letters, it's going to narrow it down even that much more. So it's just a little closer to what would be otherwise somewhat like a private reading, but not a private reading. And it's not to replace a private reading, because they have their private readings have their own benefits, obviously. So without further ado, if you would mind, do you like what you see and hear today, would you please consider subscribing to my channel? It helps me, my channel, grow, and it also, which means it helps other people as well as yourself. I can reach more people. And so I'm just going to take a moment to call in Archangel Michael and my Holy Spirit to help guide and assist me with the energies of the cards, correctly interpreting them, and to help me see clearly so that I can help you. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Just going to shuffle a little bit here, get some energy back into them after sitting. I'm using the Light Seer's deck. I love it. Archangel Michael and my Holy Spirit, what messages do you have for the collective today in this general reading for Tuesday, September the 5th, 2023? All right, we're going to see what the overall energy is. It's the Ten of Wands. Boy, somebody's feeling overburdened here. Overburdened with a lot of baggage. Okay, that's that. And then what clarifies Ten of Wands? Energy of Three of Pentacles. Some kind of collaboration. The King of Cups. Okay. Somebody who's deeply in their emotions, but not necessarily telling anybody. Ten of Cups. Happily ever after, a long-term commitment, romantic commitment, and life, family life. Justice, wanting or needing to come in and balance the scales of inequities, injustice in the past. Page of Cups, wanting to give someone an apology, or bring a message in of love. When pigs can fly, right? Only when pigs can fly. I love that. That's his feet, by the way, here that you don't see. That's his feet up there. Only when pigs fly will I give my cup of love. And while they're flying. Yes, and so there's somebody who adores somebody and admires them, curious about them, and wants to, believes they would like to give an apology to. The Emperor, well, that's a fantastic, wow. So heavy burdens, right? The Emperor is the quintessential masculine energy in the tarot card deck. And it's all about taking charge and taking control of your life. If you haven't had it, you haven't been doing it up until now. And it's somebody who is a great leader and, you know, has equal like mind, heart balance, knows how to be fair and generous. Somebody who's just really evolved and become someone who is actually ahead of an empire. Now, whatever that empire is or would be to you, it doesn't necessarily need an actual empire, you know, like in the you know, the ancient past kind of thing, or an empire in terms of business, but it could be an empire just in your own mind. Like, really, you're in charge of your empire, your faculties, your intelligence, your software, you know, really your software, whatever programs are running in you now, you're in charge of those, you're in control of them, and you're not letting anyone, you know, put a virus in there. If you want to use that analogy, there will be no viruses coming into any of your programs because they're highly protected. You know how to protect your life. You know how to protect your mind and your heart, and only give it to those you feel is worthy. However, you are generous with anybody who is in that receptive mode. Okay, so that's the empire. You've evolved into the empire after the heavy burdens of life dragging and holding you down. Whether that was in well, it would be in your romantic relationships, commitments, family life, work life, friend life, whatever life, it's been quite taxing on you, and you've been carrying around, this would even be your childhood, by the way, you've been carrying around baggage from the past, from all of your experiences, and they've just been accumulating over time from one relationship, from one circumstance, from one situation to another. You have just been piling them up like this, right? Piling them up on in your mind, on your heart. You have been feeling that, you know, it feels like things are getting worse, but they are as bad as they can get here, because the 10 of Wands is the last wand. You cannot see all these battles that you've been taking on this meandering path. You cannot experience another one right now, because it's 10. You have to let it go. You have to let it down. You have to give it away. Put it to rest. And the one you do that with is your soul, and the one who oversees you, which is God, which is you basically, but you're waking up to your soul. You have been working and trying to collaborate with people, and this collaboration has not only made you feel like very burdensome in your life, this collaboration, but it has taught you some lessons, right? You've learned, you've actually opened up your heart to the point where you're learning from your past collaborations, your past connections, excuse me, and you have now begun sitting there whenever you can and allowing your emotions to come up, allowing yourself to feel the things that have been hurting you, that you've suppressed in the past, and at the same time allowing your heart to speak to you, for you to actually be hearing your heart talking to you. That may have been kind of like something you've never considered before. If you did hear something, you're like, well, that's alien to me, I don't know what it's talking about, so down you go. So you'd been suppressing it, but you're not anymore. You may not necessarily be expressing it to anyone, because right now you're like the one that is in your life. You don't necessarily want to express what you're feeling, which are all new feelings that you've been avoiding or just not looking at or really didn't realize were there because of past childhood rearing, the way you were reared, raised, and treated by your family, your parents, other people, whatever. So you had been in this 10 of Cups, happily ever after with somebody that you wanted to have, you wanted to feel deeply for. You really thought it was something. It was something that you really expected it to be something. It was somebody who you met through work, possibly through work, that you engaged with, and perhaps you felt, but you didn't express it enough to this person. And this person here may have been thinking, I have been, I'm not getting what I should be getting in my life. And I don't necessarily feel like they love me. This person loves me, because they never tell me. They'll tell me I love you on my birthday or Mother's Day or some special occasion, whatever. Or when there's tough times and two of you face these tough times together, and then you're feeling more like you're alive with each other. You're more present with each other because you just battled. You overcame some obstacle that was, a very real challenge in your life. Maybe your house got flooded, that kind of thing. And the two of you worked real hard to not only get the water out of the house, but to start talking to insurance agents and fighting together to make sure that you can get everything that you lost in the flood replaced. Or you had to let that house go, got it fixed up as best you could, and then moved on to another house. It's whatever, but that's the kind of thing, is that when you have a challenge as a relationship, in a partnership with somebody, you generally come together cohesively, generally, right? And because of the success of overcoming a challenge, your heart's more in it. You're more present with them. But it's only during those times, right? And then the rest of the time, when things are good, smooth sailing kind of thing, there's not really any great obstacle or challenge to surmount. It's life as usual, and it becomes maybe monotonous and challenging to the one who needs to hear "I love you" and be seen, to be shown in many different ways with the expression as well. And they were not feeling that way because why? We don't know. Past rearing, right? Not knowing how to, that is the right way to do it, or whatever. Well, the injustices are going to come in and balance out your life, because perhaps there has been one in your life that actually caused you to open your heart, because they were in your life but they're not in your life anymore. And through that experience, you started feeling, and if you never really allowed yourself to go really deeply into your emotions, you're just more of a social surface living type of individual. I'm going to say a masculine, right? Because the Emperor, you would not know what these feelings were at first. They would have scared the bejeebies out of you. And for that reason, you would have just been continuing living your life day to day with whoever it was you were with, because it made no sense to you. It's just like, why do I think of this person, then I have that kind of stab or jab in my heart that it feels like someone's knocking on it, or there's a hole, or whatever. I feel more when I think about this person than I do at any other time. That's because that person is waking you up to love. They were put in your life to help you overcome the void that you've been experiencing ever since the injustices of the past, where you were growing up and maybe your parents and family or whatever withheld love from you for many different reasons, treated you unfairly, right? So the justice is coming in. That's when you met somebody who jolted you awake, quite literally. You know, we're all sleeping until love enters the scene. Then we're very much alive. Wouldn't you agree? So that person you remember fondly, you think about, and you're just like, before you were like, when pigs fly, I will give my cup to somebody who I feel deserves it. Well, this time, pigs are flying now, and you want to give your cup to the one that help guide you out of your darkness into your love light and love life. And you are saying, you know, if it weren't for having met you in the past, we don't know when, if it weren't for you, I may not be seeing what it is that I have been pushing out of my life. You helped unveil the love that I have had for me all along. It's been there, knowing that who I really am is somebody who loves himself dearly. I'm beginning to feel that. I'm beginning to understand that and realize that. So you are waking up to that, and that would be also, you know, through that awakening, you have been allowing the light of the divine to come into your mind and to spark your heart, kind of thing. And this is you having learned those lessons about love and giving love and receiving love equally with others. Yep. Oh, that all looks really nice, guys. I'm so happy for you. Let's clarify. This all clarifies the 10 of Wands. You've been heavily burdened with the first part here, but justice is coming in, and you know that's the divine. Justice is coming in to help you see that pigs can fly and that you can evolve to a higher understanding of who you really are. And you are this magnificent, powerful individual who's in charge of your own life. No one else is. Really understanding that you have been giving your power away to others for one reason or another, whether it's because of a relationship or just, you know, you're just that kind of person that you really never really felt very empowered or self-confident. Your esteem may have gone down into the toilet in the past. So, but you're picking that back up you're picking all of that back up again. So we're going to clarify the Three of Pentacles here, is what I meant to say. King of Wands, take charge. Nine of Swords, after a betrayal. Knight of Pentacles, and you become the Knight of Pentacles energy. The Queen of Wands. Very interesting. Ten of Swords. Oh, what was this? This is a Nine of Swords. Okay. The Queen of Wands had betrayed you. And this was a commitment, a long-term, you know, celebratory commitment with, you know, long-term person, right? In a relationship, a marital relationship. So what we got here for the Three of Pentacles, you may have met this person, the Queen of Wands. Looking real good back then. Look at you, were the King of Wands too. You were equally yoked, on the same page, seeing each other as just magnetic, charismatic, go-getters, you know, don't back down, leaders in your own right, you know, loyal to the 3D material world, making sure that you win the battles. Doesn't matter what happens, you have to be a winner. You like to win. And just living from that life perspective, you met somebody who was thinking the same way. You were equally yoked. You were on the same frequency, bandwidth. And that's why you attracted that individual into your life. Because remember, you were still, you know, you're still operating from a operating platform that was steeped in the type of what you call it, you know, defense mechanisms, coping, with people who were not giving to you equally. Your family life was not all that great. It was what you needed, obviously, for you to grow up, to actually survive and grow up and get what you needed. Maybe they helped you go to school and all this sort of stuff, but you had to create coping mechanisms because you were feeling that you had to protect yourself, your actual self, your physical self, your emotional self, and your mental self. And now the mental and the physical is like what everybody sees and is very real. I mean, you think all the time, right? We think all the time. Doesn't mean we have to feel all the time. We are really, but we just, if we don't have that emotional acumen, that the range, emotional intelligence and maturity, the levels of emotions from being like feeling depressed to feeling elated, like joyful. There's a complete range of emotions all between that, right? So you you developed a protection, like a crab, with that outer shell. I was going to say, oh look, there's a crab here, but there isn't. But there's the starfish. It's got kind of a soft underbelly right there where its mouth is. But you had to develop a shell, an outer shell, to be able to protect the emotions, which causes you to feel whether you're worthy or not. And you couldn't handle feeling so unworthy to these individuals in your life, your parents, your siblings, whatever, that you just pushed your emotions down. And that was your coping mechanism. You did not allow your young self, your inner child, your inner self, to come up and teach you all about the emotions, to begin to see the different levels and the variations. You just had really like feeling angry to feeling happy in a moment or two, back to feeling upset, angry, lethargic and depressed kind of thing, anxious maybe even. You just had those couple of different ranges, that's it. But there's a whole lot more in between those that you have not been aware of, and you, by right, you probably didn't care. Whatever you were doing was working for you as far as you were concerned. So you just kept at it while you took what you learned back then in your childhood and brought it into your adulthood, and that's what you've been operating from all along. That's become your operating system. But now somebody came into your life and they showed you the range, because you started feeling something other than what you normally would feel. And that would be foreign to you, right? And then you start wondering, well, what does this mean? What's going on? But back then, you would meet this Queen of Wands, and because you're still at that there's only a couple different types of emotions, you're still at that frequency, not allowing really your deep emotions to come up and express themselves in your life. And that left her feeling kind of like, well, whatever. This is not what I signed up for with this guy, right? And it's what this relationship as a result, because you don't want to mess around with the Queen of Wands, okay, who's a battle warrior, right? If you operate from withholding your emotions, because that's all you ever known, and if you operate in your relationships like that's what I'm trying to say, they'll eventually leave you one way or another. And this one here, she left you probably because she didn't have a range of emotions herself, so she wasn't working on it with you. And you just felt like you couldn't really trust her, and she couldn't trust you. You weren't in it for what it was supposed to be for, and she started behaving in ways that just was not representative of a happy married life, right? She started having affairs, 10 of Swords. She had an affair, okay? She had an affair. You may have had an affair as well, but it's left you, she's become quite aggressive and turned into a bully, and just name calling and maybe using swear words, stuff like that, telling you you're no good for nothing, and why do I have to do everything for you? You know, why can't you do it yourself? And just being belittling you and demeaning you. But she reached out to somebody else, and she was having a clandestine relationship with that one. And like I said, it could have been you too. The both of you could have been having affairs on each other, because you just weren't getting what you expected to have been getting from a happily ever after life with somebody. It turned into great burdens instead. And you have been losing sleep at night. You know, in the Nine of Swords energy, you're losing sleep at night. You have all these thoughts up in your head that are just swirling around, that whenever you try to get quiet, they pop up and they start really bothering you. So you made the determination to walk away and move towards something that you see is valuable to you. And you have you decided that you're going to go so slow as not even ride your horse. In this case, you're actually going to go at the speed of your own, pace. You're walking with your bare feet, getting in touch with nature, and just feeling a lot better and lighter, because you're not carrying all this. They're just following you. The pentacles are following you, and you just have one that you need on your back. So there's good news coming in to somebody about that there's a new plan that's going to lead to giving a cup of love to somebody you really do deeply care about. And that would be this person from the past who helped you realize that there was injustices in your life from, childhood or earlier, that the divine is coming in to balance, and that because of that, you're moving in that direction as well, slowly and methodically, wanting to bring fairness and balance to your life and to the person that came into your life and showed you that you're thinking about, and you want to give them a cup of love as a page. Send a quick message, just a message that's saying hi, hi, it's been a long time since we talked, and I just wanted to see what you've been up to, that kind of thing. And you might be saying too that the good news is you got a new plan. You got a new plan, because this is a new plan, a brand new start, divinely inspired. You got a new plan to come to you with love in my heart that I am now allowing myself to deeply feel for life, for you, and to be on, to give equal reciprocity of equal give and take, that I may have not been, because we don't know yet, but may have not been in that energy. Probably not, right? Because you weren't doing it here with this relationship. She may just never, this Queen of Wands in the reverse, she may just never have been in a receptive mode, because being a Queen of Wands, she can be quite aggressive. And she might be the one who says, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to give you this, and you'll give me this in return. But it's not about love, right? It's about what you can get, what you can battle out of people, beat out of people, right? All right, so what's the energy of the King of Cups, Archangel Michael, Holy Spirit? Can you please tell us about the energy of the King of Cups? Thank you so much. Seven of Swords. King of Pentacles. Very good. And Nine of Cups. And I feel like this one wants to come out. The Devil with the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, working real hard. Making an effort to get into your heart space, to get into your heart. You know how you get into your heart space? Just quickly, you put your focus there, like you're actually looking at your heart, but with your inner sight. You see your heart pumping like this, And you put your focus there, and then you say, God, please light my heart. Put your light on my heart. Then just sit there and let that happen. Imagine it to be happening, because that's what the spirit life is all about. It's about imagination. You've got to use your imagination, because that's your manifesting power right there, is your imagination. Your thoughts, yes, about believing it can happen, but also seeing it, envisioning it, imagination, seeing it happen. So 7 of Swords, you were in the sneaky trickster kind of energy, underhanded, deceptive, lying energy. That's why you met this one. You had met this other person in the past, the one that's finally woken you up without even trying. That's the energy you were in the past, and that's why, it's eventually led you to feeling deeply. The King of Pentacles is somebody that you have everything that you need, right? At the material 3D level, you have everything. You also have wisdom, devotion, loyalty to give to somebody. You're quite learned, and you have a lot of wealth. But you did not have that deep experience of your heart here, of unconditional love that's been sitting kind of idle in your life. Not really, but it would look like that. It would appear to be that way, especially if you're having trouble with your relationship, your long-term relationships, or just making a bonding connection at the heart level with somebody. That would be a telltale sign. 9 of Cups, you have been overindulgent, living a life as the King of Pentacles on the material level, getting what you can from this world, without putting much of your heart into it at all. You just put all your, it's I can do this. Yes, the I you're talking about, though, is the one which is led by the ego. Okay, ego is synonymous with fears. You do what you need to do. You physically take charge and do to get, right? That's the ego. You're trying to accumulate whatever it is so that you can stay off insecurity and hard times, or just feeling unworthy. So you do what you need to do at your own strength, not the inner soul self strength, but your own physical strength and mind strength without the heart. It's the mental strength and the physical strength you've been using to get what you need. You got a lot from that. You really, really did. However, all your relationships have been going down the toilet. Because why? You have not been putting your heart into them as well. Just imagine what you're like when you have both. This is what you are when you have both. When you put both your King of Pentacles know-how and your deep, deep feeling of unconditional love for life, you become the Emperor. Look how confident you are. Wow. That's amazing. Yep, I love it. So this kind of life that you were leading, which was very 3D oriented, focused, you were overindulgent in your life. Overindulgent and being that deceptive, trying to get what you can from others by manipulation. Through manipulation, see, you're manipulating this one, the strings, right? You want to bound people to you in business, in personal life, whatever. But you're the type of person is, if you don't got what I need, I don't need you. Goodbye. Get lost, right? That's really harsh, and that's using people. Okay, so that's what you were like, and we were clarifying the King of Cups energy. But now someone has come into your life and has been able to help you see. You're now making an effort, and you were working a lot though back then too. Like, you thought that life was all about hard work, that it would be hard work that would make you successful. And the King of Pentacles is highly successful, and they're mature, and they are well grounded, very much grounded. But they are not necessarily in equal balance with their heart. with a heart, because they just have so much 3D focus. What can I do for myself? You know, what can I do for myself? It's all about my own strength as opposed to inviting God's strength in. Because there's two sides of every one of us. There's that ego strength, right? The physical side. What can I do to make my life better? And then there's the divine, you know. And when we choose to neglect or avoid the divine side of us, we're not whole. Obviously, we're not whole. And when we're not whole, we're not getting the whole benefit of living a life in 3D. Doesn't that make sense? We're not whole. Until we become whole, we will only get one side of life, and that one side is largely at the helm, or led by the ego, who's at the helm. Unconditional love, God, your soul is at the helm. Okay, so we're going to clarify. We're clarifying the Ten of Cups here, okay? The Two of Pentacles, juggling. Five of Swords, self-sabotaging, not finding a solution. And the Lovers, okay, with some enlightenment. There's that strength, that inner strength. Okay, so this Ten of Cups was fraught with much, you know, no solutions to be found. You're always at a stalemate with your partner. She thought one way, you thought another. You weren't always coming up with a reasonable conclusion that would solve some of your, you know, your marital issues, your trust, you know, trust for each other, faith of each other, faith for each other, knowing that you are loved and deeply loved by each other. That was just something that you were not able to really manage very well in this relationship with your Queen of Wands in the reverse. This is family life as well. This is a commitment, you know. It's a commitment and possibly a proposal. So you were in a married life with this individual that was, like I said, fraught with a lot of problems. Self-sabotaging behavior on both of your parts. Because why? You weren't including your heart. You weren't deeply, deeply digging down deep to feel it and to allow it to start healing you. That the healing waters of emotions, right, of love. And because you weren't healing from your childhood woes, the inner wounds, inner child wounds, you were still operating at the surface, really just barely sticking your toe in the water, just enough to be in a loving romantic relationship with somebody, just enough. So you were juggling that, but you realized there was somebody in your life at this time as well. You're remembering this person who is a strong divine connection. You have a strong divine connection with, that has helped you heal, that has helped you open up your eyes so that you can feel your heart again, to be both the King of Pentacles and the King of Cups in that energy, eventually evolving into the Emperor. You were enlightened to this. This person brought enlightenment into your life, probably because you left them and they've now left you. And you can't believe it. It's hard to believe that you felt so deeply for somebody and they're not in your life anymore. They woke you up and they're not in your life anymore. Okay, let's clarify justice. The energy of justice, please. Archangel Michael, Holy Spirit, can you tell us about the energy of justice here? What's being balanced? Nine of Pentacles. The emotions, Moon, and the Fool. With the Ace of Pentacles, I just love this card. Okay, there's the Queen of Pentacles, that's your love. Six of Swords, moving from rough waters to calmer waters to your Queen of Pentacles and leaving it. Walk behind, leaving your investment with the Queen of Wands behind. Yeah, okay. So, let's see what we have here. Yeah, we'll start with this. So, Nine of Pentacles, you are at least thinking about becoming single. And you're also thinking about the one that you see as being, you know, independent, looks great. She's obviously feeling great. She's got a lot. and she's successful, highly skilled, quite capable. She's learning how to and has been harvesting finances, so she's must be focused on her finances. She's in balance. Okay, and you're feeling those emotions. You're seeing them. They are coming up now. They're no longer hidden, but you had hid them from her. But you don't want to anymore. The emotions are the fears that you had. So that's why you suppressed the that deep, unconditional emotion you've been suppressing, pushing down, has been wanting to come up, and you're feeling it. It's because you met this person, this Queen of Pentacles that's in the deck here, because you met her and she's woken you up to that without even trying, and that love, that connection you had with her then, is starting to show you how you feel, right? Starting to show you how you feel. And this is exciting. It's exciting to come up with new feelings. It might be scary at first, but eventually as you process them and begin to understand them, perhaps you've been, watching her from a distance, and you've seen how she lives her life after you having turned her life upside down. Well, this Fool energy here is you wanting to just fall back and let life catch you as you move towards the love, as you move into love and feel it and really, really feel it. And the divine says if you do that, you're going to have more pentacles than you can manage. We're going to bless you with a great big blessing of prosperity and abundance. This is going to come to you in many different forms, or a lump sum, whatever, but it comes from the world, obviously. But it's going to show up in a very unexpectedly, and it's going to be exactly what you need in order for you to move towards your finance. Your prosperous Queen of Pentacles gal, who's if she's Queen of Pentacles, she's in a committed relationship possibly. So, excuse me. She is quite serene though, and she's contemplating life, sitting pretty, and feeling financially secure. So she's doing well for herself. This is her too, but this is who you want to be as well. And you want to move out of your very tumultuous life here with the Queen of Wands in the reverse, from the rough waters to the calm waters. The calm waters is being with your Queen of Pentacles here. Look at how serene she looks. She's in, like, these are like antennas, right? Connected with nature, which is also the divine. So that's what the Justice card is all about. This, and your idea is to walk away, or you have walked away from this one up here. This relationship, that investment that you put into the Ten of Cups, happily ever after with the Queen of Wands, who's now in reverse. So let's clarify the Page of Cups energy. Page of Cups energy, please. Archangel Michael, Holy Spirit, what can we know about the Page of Cups? An offer of love. Seven of Cups, that was at the bottom. The Wheel of Fortune, and the Three of Wands with the Page of Swords. Fantastic. Okay, so at one time when you were still in confusion, you were living life like on your terms, getting what you can get from them, remember, and not, if you couldn't get something from somebody, it was like, get lost kind of thing, get lost. And so you met this Queen of Pentacles, who may not have been a Queen of Pentacles at the time, but you met her and you got what you needed from her at the time, and then you didn't need anything else as far as you were concerned, because you were in a committed relationship. You didn't tell her that, possibly, and so you left her feeling like she was always just an option to you. So this was you ended up on the karmic wheel of experiencing karma. You were not going, the karma wheel was not going in your favor. It was like you were paying some deep karma off because you hadn't healed your childhood wounds, which you brought as coping defense mechanisms into every single one of your relationships, even with your children if you have some. Your co-workers too. It was all about what you can get. You're protecting yourself. You'll battle anyone, everything, in order for you to get what you think you would be safe for you, like that would help you feel safe and secure in your life. You worked putting yourself into it, making sure you probably climbed the ladder at work too. Maybe you're in a really great position at work that's high paying. As a King of Pentacles, you have everything you need, right? And you did it all on your own sweat and your own blood and your own tears. So no one's going to take that from you. And that kind of, I'm going to do everything on my own, not including unconditional love in my life, which is God. And I'm going to battle my way through life to accumulate what I need to accumulate for me to feel like I'm doing real well. And when you get into that kind of mind space, you just like enough, even though what would look like enough to others, not enough to you. And so because you were not including unconditional life and breaking hearts, not giving her what she deserved, and treating the one in the past, your Queen of Pentacles, who she is now, you had to pay off some karmic debt first. So that meant that this was all just going, it was upheaval. You had to end it. You had to walk away from it. It was good in the beginning, but because long-term commitments involve unconditional love, for it to be enduring and lasting, it just couldn't last. Your relationship with this one or anyone else just couldn't last. Even with the one that you left behind, it couldn't last because you did not dig down deep enough to allow that to be the glue, to keep you together. So you've turned your back on that life, you've paid your karma, you turned your back on this life here, and now you're looking across, trying to see when the next wave's coming in. It's like waiting for your ships to come in, but you're ready, you're making progress. This is a 3 of Wands, you're making progress. No longer are you just in the planning stage, you're actually taking steps to move forward, to go across the horizon or to go across the sea to whoever or wherever your Queen of Pentacles is. Okay, so that's that's this one here too. You have been keeping an eye on her. She's obviously on social media or whatever. You've been able to keep an eye on her, maybe fake accounts, but you are watching her and have been watching her from afar without really still feeling, but you have from over time have been watched her and seen how genuine she is, that you start to develop feelings for her, like truly feeling those feelings for her. And you just want to speak to her, you want to talk to her, you want to give her your cup, offer this cup or this apology and romantic offer, right? And because you see her as a Queen of Pentacles, somebody who you would love very much for her to break that commitment to whoever it is that she's with, if she's with somebody, and be in your life instead. She's considering it. Look, you're talking to her and she's considering it. So it's possible she'll hear you out. It's possible, but you won't know until you make the move. You have to send her a message. You have to take action towards her. There's where the Emperor comes in. Let's talk about the Emperor. Okay, Emperor energy. Archangel Michael, Holy Spirit, what can we know about the Emperor energy? Temperance. Oh, in a temperate space. The Magician. Wow, this is all beautiful so far. And the Chariot. Of course, it wouldn't, it wouldn't be anything different, right? You have moved out of you miss her. You still miss her because she's not in your life right now. You still miss her. You want to get out of that energy and feel, really fantastic in a temperate, healed energy, like to give to this relationship, your lover, your soulmate, your strong soulmate connection you have with her. You want to nurture it. You want to nurture it with her and be at peace. Because you know that if you were to engage with her as opposed to someone like the Queen of Wands, especially when she's in reverse, it's going to be a total different relationship dynamic. You know it. and you're just looking forward to that, right? As the Emperor, because you are coming correct. And guess who she is? She's not just your Queen of Pentacles. She's your Empress. She is absolutely your Empress. And so the two of you are a perfect match. She's evolved probably before you did, and you've come correct. You're coming up. You're evolving yourself. You've evolved enough to be able to be a good match for somebody who is there already. Look, she wears her emotions on her shoulders. If you can see, there's a little fish right there. Little tiny fish. Yeah, she wears her emotions on her shoulders. She does not hide from her feelings. She allows them to come up. She's very fertile. She gives birth to worlds, to new experiences, to creative ideas. Those are worlds, right? Because it'll change the world. So she's giving birth to new worlds. And you are going to be able to follow your passion and a brand new, divinely inspired new beginning in passionate pursuits. On your chariot, giddy up and go, get going, manifest that passionate new life experience by getting on your chariot and moving. This is moving at fast action, moving forward to your Empress. What more can I say? That's lovely, guys. This has just been a really great reading, and I just want to say thank you so much for sticking it out with me if you have done so far, and please consider subscribing and liking if you like this, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye bye for now. Take care of you.